Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome back to the Unbound realm. Hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing great. So yes, it has been a little while since I've had any videos. Been super busy at work, super busy with real life. It happens. So yes, been trying to get a little bit of resource collection going here. And there's a couple of reasons for that. I have tried to record a couple of videos here on the Unbound realm, and I just haven't seemed to really be able to make them work. But I will tell you guys, so we've been working up in our new village, and yeah, I believe this is the direction we need to go. But we've been doing some work up in our new village area, and part of that was to be making a large mountain area to act as a backdrop to our village, because yeah, this part of the problem that I am having here is the total lack of good looking mountains. Even though these mountains aren't bad, they don't look as good as I would like. But so I was trying to collect resources to be able to work on this, and I realized I had a big problem, and that was storage. I mean, I've got chests and shulker boxes all over the place. So I came back here to our original village, and I started digging a massive, and I mean massive, hole underneath. So if we go into Harry Potter's closet here, we now have another drop chute here. The original drop chute that we had here that ran down to our quarry area, or our mine shafts, has been removed. And so we drop down here and we have this hole with a sorting system in it. So this sorting system is the Catagorizer. I cannot remember right off the top of my head who originally designed this. But then it was updated to be slightly more efficient, and it doesn't work with 16 stacks with the updates either. But yeah, storage is now not being as much of a problem, but the issue is that we don't have nearly enough stacks of chests here. We have a whole 16 lines of chests, and we need a lot more than that. So I've been needing to grab some iron. So I have been mining a lot of iron. We have 4.5 stacks of iron blocks here. We also have a whole bunch of iron here down below. So we have another 5 stacks of iron ore here. And yes, coal. Yes, coal. So yeah, I am hoping to expand this out quite a bit more, and we will give it a proper entrance over here eventually as well. But here is our original mine shaft drop tube, and down here I have made some very long mine shafts. Some of these shafts go out several thousand blocks, and I started making a second layer as well because, well, quite frankly, I'm not too interested in getting diamonds. I need more iron than anything. Now, part of it is, yeah, I could make an iron farm, but I don't want to. But we need to do some work down here. So this mine shaft area has just kind of been, it's very utilitarian, and I want to make it look nice. So we're going to do some decorating down here, and for that I need to get lots of dark oak. I'm also going to need lots of regular oak, and I might even need a bunch of birch, because we are going to be using birch fences in that. But we have a lot of resources to collect up, and I missed the opening. Oops. We have a lot of resources to collect up. If we look here at our storage system, whoops, missed. So our storage system, we have dark oak right here. We have a few stacks of dark oak, but we don't have all of it. And so we're going to have to get a lot of dark oak. We have tons of stone. By the way, we run 2 stacks of smooth stone here. Yeah, the first slice is already filled, and I can't open the top ones because I put the wrong blocks on top. But that's fine. But we're into the second slice now for the smooth stone, or the regular stone. And yeah, that is, I am very happy to see that. That is the resources we needed for our mountain build. And I may have to go to the end and get some more shulker boxes again, because what my thought is that if we have certain items, you know, certain items like the smooth stone, obviously we're going to get a lot of that. Cobblestone, if we set up a cobblestone generator, we will have tons of cobblestone, and you can see I've already put one cobblestone shulker box in here. Other things that we will get a lot of is like gravel. Sand could be another one of those. Netherrack obviously is something that we're going to get a lot of. I don't know that there's anything else right now that we would really worry about loading into shulkers, but I want to sort off some of these items and run them through shulker loaders. Now, I have designed a storage system that it's a bit different than the traditional storage system, and I may put it into place. It takes slightly more iron than a traditional item sorter, but it is way faster. And actually, I think what we'll do is we'll head over to my creative world and I will show you guys this item sorter. So I am over in my creative world and we have our item sorting system here. So this system actually, this over here is just for putting items into the water stream. But I found out some interesting things while working on this. First off, there is a way to align blocks differently than most people do, and this actually helps this sorting system. So one of the things that I ran into an issue with was occasionally using a chest or an ender chest or a cake here where we're just one pixel off of the edge, we would not have the items be picked up by a hopper. Now that in and of itself is not terribly bad, but this system needs to pick those up. So if we can push it back further, we get a better pickup rate by the hopper. Now, there are very few items that will actually work to align an item stream in the game. So obviously things like chests and ender chests and cakes and honey blocks for that matter will align the item one pixel into the block most of the time, but occasionally they don't. The next one is, I believe, the anvil, which the anvil, let's go ahead and, is that in decoration blocks? I can't remember. So the anvil, if we look at this block, and we'll throw a block down next to it, we are 1, 2, and then 3 pixels over on the top. I'm not sure how the hitbox works on the bottom. So if it's hitting the bottom, we're actually only 2 pixels in. So I wanted to figure out a way to use a stone wall, because an item flowing through an item stream is 4 pixels wide, and this will actually align it at the 4th pixel. So now we are completely out of these blocks over here. We're actually, these fences would not be needed. We could go here and replace these with solid blocks. So yeah, that is actually a very nice thing. We can make the item stream itself a little bit tighter. So now the next issue that I found. But anyway, we can align the items there. The next issue that I found is there is an issue with hoppers picking up items out of a water stream, and they don't always pick up the items. Regardless, I mean, I could run a double chest of items through this system, and I'd end up with like 3 items over here in this other hopper, and it's like, that's just irritating. And so I tried this here, and actually if we grab a water bucket, we should hopefully be able to get the result that I'm looking for here. So we'll go ahead and put that right there. We'll put another sign right there. And we will replace some of these with ice. And I believe we need ice on both of those. And then over here, we will go ahead and put another sign just in case anything gets past there. So there we go. So a little bit more intensive than what I would like, but it is something that you can do. So the items come down here and they get sucked up by the hopper. Now, the issue with an item stream flowing over a hopper is the hopper's emptying rate. So you can get 2.5 items per second to flow out of a hopper. That is not much when it comes to item streams dumping items in. So I started looking at some additional game mechanics, namely the minecart hopper. So the minecart hopper pulls items out of a regular hopper incredibly fast. So this will pull the items out of that hopper. The problem is we still need a filter. So we have our cobblestone and then we have filter items. I use diorite, it doesn't really matter. But we have our filters set up here and we need that to stay active. So what I have done is I've set up a comparator just like normal, run a little bit of redstone over, and you can see this redstone is not active and that one is. So as soon as a few items get put into the hopper, this redstone will activate and push this sticky piston forward. So we have a couple of blocks of slime here. You can also use honey there, it doesn't really matter. That is part of the reason why we have this glazed terracotta here. And actually, I think we're supposed to have that like this. I can't remember. But the glazed terracotta allows the slime blocks to move underneath it without disrupting the item string. So, do I need... I actually don't need that one. But so, here we have the slime block being attached to a fence post. The fence post has been embedded in the minecart hopper. So when the piston extends forward, it actually drags the minecart hopper with it, and then when it retracts, it pulls the minecart back. Now, a better way to do this, to make this system even faster, is to have this minecart actually sitting on top of 2 trap doors. And you can actually see I had this set up here, and we will go ahead and set it up again. So you have hoppers underneath, and let's see here, we need to get this. Oh, and we have so much stuff here, we're just going to destroy everything. But we're going to put some trapdoors for this hopper to run on. Now, for now, what I'm going to do is I am just going to power this block. And you can see the minecart hopper has moved forward with it. We're going to go ahead and put another trapdoor here. And then we should be able to retract that, and the hopper comes back. So we have some cobblestone underneath. Okay, everything stayed in the hopper, which makes sense because, or in the minecart, because there's nothing to pull it out. So then what we need to do is get this minecart to be able to be dumped into 4 hoppers. So what I'm going to do, I am going to grab a rail. We're going to drop another minecart hopper right there. So once we drop that, we're going to break that and push it forward with a fence post. So that puts it into the center of those 2 hoppers. So the next thing that we need to do is to push it forward again. And actually we are going to have to do this. And so now we will grab a couple more blocks here because we need this. And so we'll go ahead and do that, and that will push that guy forward as well. So now we'll go ahead and break this back out. We'll place a trapdoor here. And now this minecart hopper underneath is properly aligned for all 4 hoppers to be able to pull out of it. So the items will be pulling out not at 2.5 items per second, but at 10 items per second, which is insanely fast. But this is a bit more lag inducing and takes a bit more iron than a standard setup. But let's go ahead and grab some cobblestone, and we will disable that. So now the system is set, and we need to do this. So we're going to place in our filter. Yep, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. So everything should... Oh, whoops. That is a little bit of a problem. Let's go ahead and break that piston. And we'll break that too. Okay. So now we have our filter set. Let's go ahead and drop in some items. And... why... Oh. Okay, so when that all screwed up, this got broken. So what we're going to do, we're going to break that. And we're going to grab a rail. Go ahead and place a rail here. Put down our minecart hopper. Break the rail. Now, when this retracts, it will actually embed itself into the minecart hopper again. Okay, there we go. So now, when we put in our stack of cobblestone, we'll see how fast this thing retracts items, and then it stops at 15 cobblestone. And it will stop there every single time. It's like clockwork. So now the items end up into our minecart hoppers. They get drawn out here, and we end up with them down here in our chests. So now we are going to run a full-scale test of this. We're going to destroy the items. So our hoppers are empty, everything is ready to go, and what we're going to do is we are going to put in 1 chest worth of cobblestone here, and this is spitting out at a fairly good rate of speed. So we actually have 2 hoppers feeding into this dispenser, because dispensers can dispense twice as fast as a hopper can move items. So we can dispense 5 items a second there. So you can hear that this is opening and closing constantly. So we actually need a little bit more item movement there. But you can see every once in a while we get a block of items here in the hopper. And, you know, we've got items flowing through underneath. They're coming through into the chests, and they can do it quite quickly. So now the next thing is to see, and we still have that issue. So that is definitely a problem. We still can get items to go through the system, and that is the point that I don't want to have happen. But so, yeah, you can see it will dispense the items fairly quickly, but... yeah, there's still some issues with this system, but I do intend to build at least a couple of modules of it, because I want to be able to have at least 4 droppers running at full speed to fill, well, to carry our items from our mines up to our storage system. So that is something that I want to be able to do, and the only way that we can filter items out is like this. So if I put this here, yeah, so now the issue is the items will stop on the hopper. And we don't want that. We want them to go past, because let's say we put in some signs here. So these should go out now. And so we want those signs to go past and get picked up by the next hopper. So, and you can see we're already up to 5 cobblestone. But yeah, so there's still some issues, and they stem from the fact that hoppers don't pick up all items in an item stream. But yeah, I think I'm still going to build this. We're going to build a couple of them, but we need a lot of resources for building our storage units, and we also need a lot of resources for working on our mines. So, yeah. I'm going to get onto a little of that. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. So I got to thinking about this item sorter, and I figured there's got to be a better way to do this. And one of the biggest issues that I have with this is the noise of the piston. You know, if we take a stack of cobblestone here, we can put this in here, and if we put in 16 of them, it just piston fire, you know, and unless you've got a large grouping of items coming in, it is really annoying having that piston constantly pushing back and forth. So I made a few little changes and opted instead for using powered rails instead. So we have two powered rails. The minecart is currently sitting on a powered rail. Then we have a non-powered rail and another powered rail, and we made the track into an L shape. And actually, if we break this, we can see it here. And so then what happens here, when the hopper gets enough items into it, this redstone will reach this block and it gets repeated into this block. So that will power this minecart's track and send it out to be underneath the hopper. So when it gets over here, we don't want this one powered, so we have a redstone torch on the back of that block that will turn off whenever we need to be pulling items out of the hopper. As soon as there are enough items removed, this will come back on and it will power this block, sending the minecart back. So it will stop at anywhere from, well, I have seen it stop as low as 9 items, but never lower than 9. So if we take a few items here and throw them in here, we'll see, so this powers or draws items out pretty fast. So I have been doing some tests and I have found that this works insanely good. So we can actually run up to 4 droppers on this for a short period of time. So if I throw 4 stacks into each of these first 3 droppers and then throw the remainder into this last one, we'll see the items getting picked up here. The minecart will sit there and just have the items being pulled out, because we're actually putting items into the hopper basically as fast as the minecart is pulling them out. Now, as droppers start to run out of items over there, we will see this number drop down to 19 and 16 and things like that. And then we'll see the minecart moving back and forth, which is really good. So let's see how many more items. We're getting really close to having some of these shut down. So now here in a little bit, we'll see the numbers drop. So now we can see, if we watch this, it stops for a bit and then it goes, and it stops and it goes. And that's what we would expect, but we can see the minecart just moving back and forth as it's needed. Now the nice part about this is no matter what, the second minecart is underneath the first one. And so this one will always be pulled empty, which is great. But also we have a buffer space of 10 slots that this system can handle on top of the 4 hoppers worth of items being pulled out. So yeah, we can see the items are being pulled out of the hopper minecart very quickly, and they are being evenly dispersed between the 2 chests. So we can very easily then have this go into either just a large set of chests, or we could have it go into a shulker box loader. So either way, we'll figure out what we're going to do with that. Of course, we'll need buffer storage in between the sorting system and any possible shulker box loaders. So we'll need something for intermediate storage anyway. But the nice part about that is we can see no items got passed. So honestly, I think we may need to do this where we have just glass in between. I also removed the second piece of ice there. And I'm not sure that we probably do need the ice underneath the cobblestone wall. I don't really want to risk taking that one out. But I like this system better simply because of its quietness. It will take a little bit more in the way of resources, in that we'll need some gold to make some powered rails. And then we also need the regular rail, but we do have something like 10 or 14 stacks of regular rails that we've pulled out of abandoned mine shafts. And then we don't have that noise from the piston. It also does take a repeater, whereas this one doesn't, but we don't need any slime for this rail version. Now, the one disadvantage to the rail system is the sticky piston setup can be placed every 3 blocks. This minecart track system will be at least 4 blocks in between, because this block here, or well, the torch right there, would power the rail for the next sorter. So we can't have that. We need at least 1 air block in between, because otherwise we would end up with a torch right here for the next sorter, and that would always power this. So we need that instead to be over here, be a block away, so that we don't accidentally power that. So yeah, it is not great on the space usage, but you can see the speed is insane. We can keep up with 4 droppers running at full speed for a decent amount of time. And if we just keep that to like 2 droppers running at full speed, we should be fine. So yeah, this is going to be my bulk item filtration system, and we're going to go and build that in the Unbound realm now. And after quite a bit of time, I have a bunch of these storage modules set up. So I actually have 2 input systems for my storage system currently. So we have this one here, which is our bulk storage, but it will be later changed to be the full-on starting, well, that'll be where we'll input all items. Currently, anything that is stackable, like any of these items here that I have already placed into the system, you know, these we need to put in here. And so, yeah, that's not the best in the world, but we are going to be able to remove a whole bunch of the items here that we have in our storage wall, freeing up space for a lot of these items that are not currently being filtered. So that is nice. Now, one thing that I was thinking that I would like to do is make this look decent. So I have made the water stream look like a rusty pipe using acacia trapdoors. Now, this was rather difficult to do. I ran into a lot of issues. We have to have ice in certain locations, but I was able to make it work. Another thing, if we look here, we have glass every once in a while because, oh, we are missing redstone torches. These systems are not going to work. Good, the torches haven't gone in yet. So, yes, I just saw this. So we need redstone torches here. These will launch the mine carts here. And then, when I think about it, we don't have the mine carts in there yet either. But yes, we have smooth stone, cobblestone, andesite, granite, diorite, gravel so far. And yes, you can see I set up an acacia tree farm here in this room to be able to get all of the wood to make these pipes. But these pipes are going to be running all over the place. We are going to be digging this down deeper. Now, one problem that I did run into here just a little bit ago was that cats spawn down here because we're underneath the village. And cats can jump up in here and move these minecarts. So, yes, that is a little bit of a problem. So I am going to have to dig this down deeper so that the cats can't get in here. But now this will not be the final iteration or the final location for these items. So we're dumping them into 2 double chests, but from here we are going to have them go into a set of droppers just like these here that feed out. So these just use observers on a clock or on a comparator. So as soon as items show up in the system, the comparator will fire a piston here, shoves a observer up, it'll start firing items. So we're going to do the same thing underneath each of these modules, and we're going to have these items piped using nice looking pipes like this, but we're going to have them piped over to this side. So up above, if we look up here, we have this space right here, and this is where our bulk storage is going to be accessible. So yes, I think that's going to be pretty cool. Somehow or other, we're going to figure out a way that we can actually see all the items moving around. But, you know, like all of this redstone for the categorizer, that is not going to be visible, nor is really most of the redstone for the sorting units. But I do have a bunch of minecart hoppers to make here, and I made the mistake of throwing my hoppers in already, and they have not gone through the system yet, but they are no longer in there either. So I can come around here, and there they are. This is not running. So I've run into this problem before already. So if we look here, where on earth is the minecart hopper? Uh-oh. So it would appear that sometimes the minecart hopper breaks on here. I do not actually see this thing anywhere. What on earth happened to it? Or I think I may know. So this one here is firing, yes. So I'm pretty sure what happened is... No, I didn't break it to send it. Well, I am missing a minecart hopper. That is a little bit of a problem. But yes, we have our sorting system coming together. Now, we'll probably have an episode or 2 more of working on the sorting system and the sorting room, because there are other things that I would like to do to the item stream, you know, before it runs into the categorizer, because the categorizer is rather slow. I want to filter out as much stuff as I can. So like our bulk items, those will get filtered out immediately. After we've gone through all of this, somewhere around here we are going to have a non-stackable item filter. So we can filter out things like tools and armor and anything else that may be non-stackable. Shulker boxes, rails, or minecarts. You know, anything like that. Even potions would be sorted out. But so it will run through that and then come back towards the categorizer, but it still will not be placed in, because then we need to remove 16 stackable items. So the 16 stackable items, unfortunately, do not work in this iteration of the categorizer, so we will have to get those pulled out too, and we can use a different sorting system to deal with them. So that is really a nice thing. So the last thing it will dump into the chest here for the categorizer, and our items that are 64 stackable will run through there, and anything that ends up in the overflow chest we will know is no longer in the system, and we need to get it put in somewhere. So yeah, I have a lot of stuff to work on, but that is going to be it for this episode. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I've been working on, or anything that you would like to see, be sure to leave that down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!